If you have a dream of starting your blog, your newsletter, or even just create a website for yourself, but you've been stuck in the phase, I don't know where to start, first of all, I hope this video will help you. Secondly, I wanted to tell you that you're not alone. We've all been there. It's just a matter of starting. I know it sounds cheesy, but it's true. And the fastest way to start is to take the path with less friction. That's why today I will help you create your website with Notion. It's free, it's easy to manipulate, and you don't need any coding background. Because I'm a huge Bridgerton fan, I've asked myself, how would Lady Whistledown website look like? And we will discover it today because we will build it together. Let's go! Now that we are on my desk, we can start. The first thing you need to do is to create a new page. I already have it here, open. And the second thing will be actually to decide how this will be called. My website will be called Lady Whistledown Society Paper, but you can call it however you want. The next thing I will do is to create a list of things I have to keep in mind when I do my build. Here is the list. I only
want articles that are published to be shown. I want a button to reply, comment, or even just to subscribe to the newsletter. I want a very nice design. I want the articles to be sorted by date. I want to add some tags, maybe related to the topic. In this case, for my website, I will also create a tag related to the gossip level or spice or something like that. And then I want a place with all the articles together. And I even want a call out at the top of the page. And lastly, I want to have another call out with the recent issues.
Now that we know everything that we want, we can start creating. Of course, we will handle this using a database. So let's create one. Let's create a new database. We will call it all issues. In this case, you can call it all my newsletter articles or my blog articles, whatever you prefer. Then we will have different properties. The first one is the name, of course. As we said, we want to have a tag. I will use actually a multi-select for the topic. Then we need to add a date for when it was published, and then we need to add a status. The status is not for our readers, but it's for us to decide when the articles will be pushed out. This is the backbone of your website. In here you will add all the articles that in the future you will publish. So let's say that I have the article 1 and you will open this and you will fill it out with whatever this is. You can also add an icon or add a cover. I would say that we can either create a template so that all your new pages have the same icon. In this case, I will use this one, but you can choose the one that you prefer. And now to change this icon too, we go here and we change it. Now we have to comply to the first point. How can we make sure that only published article will appear in our website? We have to create a filtered view and we have to add two filters specifically, the status one and the date one. The status one is pretty straightforward. Only the ones that have the published status will appear. But why do we have to use the date? Because this date will be the publishing date. Maybe we can change this directly so that we are sure about what this is. And this means that you can somehow schedule when your article will be out. Let's say that the publishing date will be the 8th of February. And let's add another one. Let's say that this one will be published on February 2. And let's say that this one is still in the making, but the idea is to be published on the 8th. We can change this again. The reason why it didn't appear directly is that because I forgot to put this as default. So now that you put it as default, every time you create something new, the emoji will be here. But if you don't put it as a default, it will not appear. Okay. Now that we have this, let's create this filtered view. We can either use the gallery view or the feed view. Let's try the feed view. Let's call it publish article. In this, we will allow the publish date to be shown and the topic, and we will create a filter based on the status, so only the ones that are complete, but also based on the date. It has to be start date is on or before today. Perfect. We see that article 1 is still here and article 2 is not because it's not published, but also because the published date is in the future. Let's try to put it in the published one and let's see if it appears. It doesn't appear because the published date is in the future. This is why it's not shown here. Let me show you how it looks like if we write something. This is how it would look if we have some information inside the page. They will be able to see all the article that you wrote in this feed view. Something else you could do is the gallery view. And in here, they will only see a preview or a photo if you have attached a photo as the cover of your page. We have completed the first point of our list. Perfect. I'm very happy about this. Then we need to add buttons to create pushing button. Then we'll say subscribe. We can add an emoji. In this case, probably Lady Whistledown would not write subscribe. It will write something more like tea directly in my inbox with a cup of tea. And then when the button is clicked, then we can redirect opening an URL specifically. If you have a URL with which your readers can subscribe to your newsletter, I would put it here. I have mine in Flowdesk, so I will just add it here. Done. This button already works. If I push it, it will go to this page. Perfect. We have also done this. To create a button to reply or comment, the way that you should do it is to, again, create a button. You can say reply or write to me, whatever you prefer. And the action that you should do is to open a page, form, or URL, again, and you should put mail to and add your email. And now you can see that it will redirect you to send an email directly to this email. Perfect. We are done with this too. Let me tell you something, a keyboard shortcut that I really like. If you highlight something and you push Command Shift H, it will assign the last color / formatting that you use. And that's very useful in my opinion. So I just wanted to share. Then sort by date. Okay, this is done by here, publish date, descending. Perfect. Let me show you why descending. So let's say today. You see, article 2 is at the top rather than if we do ascending, the oldest one is at the top, but we want the newest one to be at the top. This is also done. Topics. I would say that the topics for a Lady Whistledown could actually be the spice level. And if you are a romance book reader, then you know what this emoji means. So I will just create the tags. And now that we have the spice level, we can assign one tag each, and it will also be shown in here. You can put something different. You could put the topics that you cover in your newsletter. For my newsletter, it might be self-development, Notion templates, anything that you want the reader to catch as fast as possible so that they are pushed to read your article. We have done the back end of our website. Now what we need to do is the front end. To do the front end, we need to open another page. In this case, it is called the same, but what I would suggest you to do is either here put back end or maybe just call it differently so that you know this is the place where you act, is not what your readers see. And now we can cover the last three things. First thing we want is a call out at the top of the page. So what I need is to push call out. I will actually remove the icon. You do it directly from here. I've written what I wanted to write, but I will also change the color to gray to give more like a past kind of vibe. Then we have the call out at the top of the page. Done. Call out with recent issues. Okay, let's do again call out. And in this case, we want to have a database inline. We want it to be connected to my all issue database, and we want to have a gallery view probably, but we will filter only with the publishing date being either this week or this month, whatever you prefer. It depends on the frequency in which you post. I would say that if you post maybe twice a month, I would do monthly. If you post, I don't know, 3 times a week, then I would do weekly. It really depends on you. But also we need to add status published, and it has to be status published and published date, start date on or before today, and is relative to today, this month. I think that in this case it was important to create an advanced filter rather than creating multiple filters, because what you need is a end condition. It has to be on or before today and this month. So this is how I would do it. You can delete this filter because we have this advanced one here. And then we have the sorting of the published date. Perfect. Now you see that only the article 1 is shown, because in our all issue the article 2 was published date was February 8th, so it's in the future. We don't want yet. Now something else that I normally do is to hide the title and change this to whatever this is. Normally you can add a view name, but in this case, because it is a call out, I will actually add a title to this call out, so I will not add a name to my view, and I will put maybe just a weekly calendar to show that these are the recent ones. I will add a title inside of here and I will call it recent issues. You can call it recent articles, recent blog, whatever you prefer. Now we can put them one close to the other. I will put the full width, and then I will actually also change the font to serif because I feel the Lady Whistledown is more, I don't know, serif font rather than the normal one. Then I will hide the filter and I will hide the menu so that it's cleaner. Something that I will copy paste from here are the buttons. I will actually do Command X and put them directly in here. Maybe because we have this like ancient vibe, I will put all the icons to matte, so I will change them to gray. And now we want a general nice design. So I would say we definitely need to add a cover. I would add, for my Lady Whistledown vibe, a wallpaper with flowers. I will just upload a photo that I already have. This is definitely more the vibe. Then I will add the icon. You can add icons, emoji, or you can even upload your own icon. The way you do it is that you push here, add emoji, and then you upload an image. I would strongly suggest that your image does not have a background. And I've already created an icon for my Lady Whistledown website, and this definitely adds to the design. So now what we can do is to add the last thing we wanted, that is to have all the issues at the bottom. So I would add another database where we have our published articles. Perfect. I will also hide the title. I will actually move it here on the bottom of the page. And this is how it looks. Everything that is published, it's here. And I would either change this. In this case, I will put it more related to Lady Whistledown, but you can change with whatever you prefer. I would either rename it like this, or as we did before, put nothing and then add a title, for example, like this. And then I would say that we need to populate it. I will come back in a second. Now I have added some articles to our database, and I would say that we have covered everything that we wanted to do. If you don't like the feed version because you have to scroll and you don't really prefer it, I would suggest that the best option is then our gallery view with all the issues here. And you can even add other properties as, again, the publish date and then the topics, for example, the spice level. Something I would suggest you to do is to create a view for topic related stuff. So in this case would be maybe a list, it could be, with the filter depending on your topic. So in this case, I don't know, only the one with spice level 3, and you would rename it with the topic name that is related to this view. And then I would hide the filter. Of course, now it looks a bit empty, but if we add something, then you see that this is how it appears. If this seems like too large for you, what you could do is to have both the feed and gallery together. So this could be another option. So here they could choose the topic, and in here they can have all the articles together. It really depends on how you want it to look like. The last thing I would suggest you to do is to work around a bit with the design. You can put the buttons one close to the other if you use the columns feature. So you can create 2 columns, 3 columns, 4 or 5. And so you can have more buttons one close to the other. And then of course, if your call out is longer, then it might look better. You just change the look of it as you want. The last step we need to do to actually make this a website and not only something on your end is to share it. We have to go here, share, publish to the world, disable the duplicate as template feature. Now that we have made this page public, we have to make sure that the database that it's connected to is also public. Otherwise, people will not be able to see what you wrote. Let me show you. It will tell me, you don't have access to this database reference. And so people will need to request access. So what you need to do is to go back here and open this database, the original one that you have created, and share this to the public too. Publish, view site. Now in here you can view the site, but you will not allow people to see the database. You will only allow people to see your website. As you see, we can now open the articles, but only the ones that have been published, because if you see, the status is published, published, published. Nothing that was not published is out here. And people cannot look at your full database. Even if they want to look for something, there is no option to open this as a full database. But I would always suggest to test it yourself. The final touch I would like you to know about is that you don't have to show this status property here because it will always say publish. So how do we make sure of that? What you need to do is that you go here and then you push customize layout. Then you add to panel the status. Let's make sure that it's also shown in our website. You see? Now it can be seen still because it's not that you can hide it forever, but people had to push the view details. So I think that it's a nice workaround. And now you have all the tools necessary to create your own website. I actually challenge you. Leave a comment below with the website you have created thanks to this video. I will happy to see it. Maybe even give a feedback if you want, or just enjoy everything that you're writing in your newsletter or blog. See you in the next video. Bye bye!